Hi, this is Mr. Malay, and here's your video review for geography quiz on Thursday. Words that you will need to know for matching. Everything on this quiz is matching multiple choice, so no short answer. Dynasty, mandate of heaven, Mongols, Qing dynasty. Remember that Qing is spelled Qing. Qing dynasty was the last dynasty in Chinese history. Spheres of influence, that's when several countries ruled different parts of China. The Boxer Rebellion was when several missionaries and merchants in China were killed to try to stop the opium trade. The rape of Nanking, we talked about that, a conquering of a Chinese city. You need to know who Mao Zedong was. You need to know that Taiwan was where the leaders of China fled when the communists took over, and it's now both claimed to be the capital of China. You need to know what was the purpose of the Great Wall of China. Why did they build it? Other terms you need to know include Taoism, Lao Tzu, Buddhism, lunar schedule, that means the moon, Spirit Festival, Chinese New Year, Kung Fu. You need to know that horses are very sacred animals to Mongolian warriors. You need to know what role reindeer play in Mongolian society. You need to know who Yamamoto was, who was the first emperor of Japan, supposedly, according to myth. The feudal legends, feudal system, what that is. You know what a shogun was. You know what sake is. What is a samurai? Its technical definition is one who guards. You know what Bushido is. That's the Japanese code of the warrior. You know what the little boy and fat man were. You know what Pearl Harbor's significance was. You need to know what Shinto is. You need to know what a kami means to the Shinto religion. You need to know that Yamato clan descended from the sun god, they claim. You need to know the importance of Mount Fuji. You need to know what bicameral means. It means two houses. You need to know what the Shinto festival of Obon is all about. You need to know what Golden Week is in Japanese culture. You need to know what is sushi. It is not always raw fish, but, you know, Kobe beef, that delicious beef we talked about. You need to know what Kabuki theater is all about. And you need to know, once again, the importance that sumo wrestling has in Japanese culture. You need to know that the China was overrun by English sailors trying to get tea for opium, and led to the Boxer Rebellion. You need to know what Mao Zedong's party was. What was he in charge of? He was, in charge of the Communist Party, obviously. You need to know that the Great Wall of China was mostly built to keep out the Mongols. You need to know what the national religion of Japan is. You need to know that how Japanese people dress on day-to-day basis. Are they wearing their traditional dress, or are they wearing Western clothes? You need to know who Genghis Khan was, what his real name was, what the word nomadic means, what the word shamanism means. That is the religion that Genghis Khan and that the Mongols followed. You need to know what a yurt is. You need to know the significance of the Korean War and how it divided North and South Korea. You need to know what the 38th parallel separates. You need to know what the demilitarized zone is. You need to know what the Korean Workers' Party is. And you need to know what is Buddha's birthday, and that's a holiday that is celebrated in many places, but mostly South Korea. You need to know what a dictatorship is, Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-il, and know which one came first. First Kim Il-sung, then Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-il. You need to know that South Korea makes more ships than any other country. You need to know that North Korea manufactures many weapons. You know that Seoul is the capital of South Korea, and Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea. The Koreans use the won as their currency, and that Park Geun-hye is the current president of South Korea. You need to know what the language in Taiwan and in most of China is Mandarin. You know that Buddhism is the main religion in most of Eastern Asia, especially in South Korea and Taiwan. You know the most important part of the economy in South Korea and Taiwan is manufacturing. You need to know that in North Korea and Mongolia, it's mostly agriculture. It's their biggest economical things. You need to know that the areca nut is a snack in Taiwan that gives you a lot of energy. You need to know that the Blue House is like the White House where the president of South Korea lives. You need to know that North Korea was supported by the USSR and China during the Korean War, and that South Korea was supported by the United States. You know, that's Camp 14, we talked about that terrible camp. It's deemed, if you're deemed an enemy of the state in North Korea, that's where you end up. You need to be able to answer true and false questions about North and South Korea, which country is which is the best one, which is the worst one, which is communist, which is not. Study your notes on those. You need to know that Confucianism is not really a religion but a way of life. You need to know how many kids Chinese people are allowed to have. Hint, it's not one anymore. You need to know what restrictions China puts on its citizens. You know, we talked about how they're very restrictive and the citizens don't have a lot of rights. How they can't see everything they want to on the internet, how they can't write in newspapers, and how many children they can have are all limits. You need to know what Chinese foot binding is and if it's still legally practiced today. And you need to know, that's basically it. If you study all of those things, you'll be doing just fine on the quiz tomorrow.